Hi everyone, welcome back for the fourth and final video of our saxophone series, our crash course for learning the saxophone. So if you have not watched videos 1, 2, and 3 for saxophone, you must immediately pause this video right now, go back, watch videos 1, 2, and 3, or else we'll have to come to your house and take your saxophone away from you because you won't know what you're doing. Those videos tell you about the parts, help you get this instrument together in the form that I'm starting in right now. So in this video, we're going to talk about getting the saxophone up into playing position to be ready to play our first note. So we've gone through the assembly process. We know how to adjust our neck strap. We know how to put the reed on the mouthpiece and the mouthpiece on the neck. We know how to assemble this whole thing. So the first thing we want to do is we want to make sure that we're sitting up in a sturdy chair. A nice sturdy chair. We don't want to sit on our couch or something that's really cushiony or something that we sink down into. We want something that sits sturdy, that we'll be able to sit up nice and tall. Second thing is we want to make sure that we're sitting up on the front part of our seat, front half of the seat. We don't want to see you sitting back or lounging back like this in your chair being cool cat saxophone guy. You want to make sure, or girl, you want to make sure that you're sitting on the front half of the seat, back straight. Your feet should be a comfortable distance apart and they should be flat on the floor. So we're sitting up tall, back straight, front edge of the seat, feet are flat on the ground. And now what I'd like you to do with this neck strap on the saxophone, with your right hand, I'd like you to find the black hook on the back side of the saxophone. And that's where this thumb is going to go. The right thumb is going to go right into that black hook. And then, if you turn the saxophone straight up to where the reed is now pointing towards your body, the mouthpiece is pointing to your body, we want to find the correct keys for our right hand fingers. So as you look around at the saxophone, on the front part where the keys are, you'll notice that there are 3 keys that have either a pearl or they're silver, and it looks like your fingertips, your finger pads go on those keys. Those 3 keys are your home keys for your right hand. For your first finger, your second finger, and your third finger. Your thumb is still in the hook in the back. And then your pinky will be free to play both of these keys that have a little roller that allows you to roll back and forth between them depending which ones you're playing. So again, the right hand, we're going to find that black hook in the back, find the other 3 keys with fingers 1, 2, and 3. You can rest the pinky on the other keys with the rollers, and let's turn that saxophone upright. Now we're going to move that saxophone. The saxophone should actually be slung around to your side. Unless you're really, really tall and very, very big and can play in between your legs, which some beginners can do, but most 4th and 5th graders that start saxophone aren't big enough yet to play between the legs. So we're going to start off on the side with the right hand. Now with the left hand, we're going to start with the left thumb. And on the back of the saxophone, right below this, what we call the octave key, or the register key, is this black pad for you to rest your thumb on. Your thumb is simply going to sit on that black pad, and then you're going to notice that there are a number of keys on the front of the saxophone that you can possibly push down with your fingers. So what you want to do is you want to skip the first key and go down to this second key. The second key pushes down 2 keys at the same time. Pushes down the key you're touching and the key right above it. We're then going to skip this small little key here and we're going to go to the next one. This also moves 2 keys. It moves the one you're pushing and the one below it. And then finally, the next key down, we're going to put our third finger, and that moves 1 key right there. And then our pinky is going to rest on these 4 keys that are sitting right above the bell. So again, with the left hand, find the black pad on the back of the saxophone, skip the first key, push down the second key, skip the small third key, go to the 4th key, 5th key, and then your pinky is sitting there on these keys right here. So I have my saxophone on my side, my fingers are on my home keys in the correct spots, but you'll notice right now that my saxophone is very, very low. The only way I could play my saxophone right now is if I lean over and play it like this, which is not sitting up straight. So the first thing we want to do before we adjust the neck strap, which we might need to do, first thing we need to do is know that your right hand, in addition to pushing these keys down with your fingers, your right thumb on the back of the saxophone is actually going to push that saxophone forward. And as you push that saxophone forward, it's going to lift that bell up and it's going to lift the saxophone up into a better playing position. So you can see where it is right now. When I push forward with the right hand, the mouthpiece does come up a little bit. It's closer to my mouth, but it's still not high enough. I still have to bend down to play it. So now that I'm doing this, everything's correct with my hands. I'm going to have to adjust my neck strap, and I'm going to have to make it shorter. That way it'll lift the saxophone and bring it to my mouth without me having to bend over. So I'm going to put the saxophone back down. I'm going to grab this side of the strap. I'm going to start pulling slowly. I'm going to bend down while I do that to take the slack off the neck strap. I'm going to put it right about there. Right hand in the hook. Find 1, 2, and 3. Left finger on the pad. Skip 1, 2. Skip tiny 3, 4, 5. I'm going to push forward into playing position with the right hand. Notice that the mouthpiece is a lot closer. I'm going to take the mouthpiece cap off to see if it goes in my mouth. Not quite. You notice that it's still just a little bit lower than my mouth. It's hitting me right below my lip. So, tighten that up a little bit more. Find my hand positions. Now, as you find these hand positions, one thing I didn't mention earlier is it's a good idea to make sure that your hands stay in these C kind of shapes. That way, your hands don't hit a lot of these side keys on the saxophone. If you have very flat hands or let them crush down, you can push down a whole bunch of extra keys and the notes that you want to come out won't come out. So make sure your hands are relaxed and rounded. Let's see how my neck strap adjustment went. Look at that, right into my mouth. Now the last thing that I'm going to have to do, in order for this mouthpiece to be in my mouth correctly and for me to get my good sounds that we got in the second lesson, I have to turn my head. But we don't want that. So all you need to do, keep your head straight and just turn the mouthpiece slightly. That way it goes into your mouth and you don't have to tilt your head. So let's review. We first put on our neck strap. We adjusted it to an approximate length. We then pulled the saxophone out of the case with our right hand by the bell, put the saxophone on our knee with the bell pointed toward our left leg. We hooked our neck strap onto the saxophone. We found our home keys with the left and right hand. We brought it up into playing position. We pushed forward with the right hand. And we made sure that the neck strap was at an appropriate length, so when I bring that saxophone up into playing position, it goes right into my mouth without turning my head, and then I just tilt, I twist the mouthpiece so it goes straight into my mouth. So congratulations, everyone. You've gotten your first sound on the saxophone mouthpiece and neck. You now know how to put it together and hold it in playing position. Go to your next lesson with your music teacher and they'll teach you your first notes. Thanks so much for watching.